What up, world? How y'all doing on this beautiful Friday morning? It was a story that was on my heart that I just had to share with the world. You never know who needs it. So yesterday I got to chaperone my son's field trip. I got two fifth graders, JJ and Co-Monster. And my JJ, his upbringing with his mom was really traumatic, where it created a crazy trauma bond. He had extremely low confidence. My little dude would cry all the time. He was just super emotional. And he's been with me for the last 2.5 years now, and it's just been unlearning and relearning a bunch of, positive habits. And yesterday his field trip was to Biztown. He was the mayor. He wanted to go out for the mayor. His main objective was to lower taxes. And my little man had to give a speech. And the last time I've seen him on a stage was at his pre-K graduation. And he didn't even have to speak. He just had to stand there and sing along with the rest of the class. And he just cried and cried and cried and cried. And he'd be behind his mama's legs and cried. And a crazy correlation, in my preschool graduation, I cried. I can't tell you why I was crying. It just, no one had ever made me feel confident with the spotlight being on me. So to see that correlation between me crying at my preschool graduation and my son crying at his preschool graduation, it was wild. And that's another reason I became a little better father. But yesterday he had to stand up on stage and give 5 different speeches. And he did fantastic every single time. Like, as a father, man, I was just so excited. My smile was so big. I don't know who had more fun on the field trip, me or my sons. And Co-Monster did a great job yesterday as well. He told me this was his favorite field trip he ever had in his life. And it got me to thinking, man, my parents never chaperoned any of my field trips my whole childhood. And I know it's a lot of people in this world as well. Your parents was always working, or they just had other priorities that was more important than raising their children. However, also as I become an adult, get a little older every day, I understand it, man. Our parents did the best they could with the knowledge they had. Though they didn't love us the way we wanted to be loved, they tried, right? And I know a lot of people that's 50 years old, but they're still hurt, and they 8 years old on the inside because of something their parents did. They say whatever trauma really hurts you the most, that's the age you get emotionally stuck in. And if you look around at the world, how many people are broken and sad and going through a lot of down bad situations, it's something that didn't happen to them, and most likely that pain was caused in their childhood. So as I raise my children and I get to correct the trauma that they went through early in their life, I just want to share the message with anybody that you can let go and let God take control. I never, ever thought that I would have all of my children 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And I do. Is it hard? Is it challenging? Do I get any, monetary help from their moms? No. But as a daddy, I make it happen. I put it on my back and I wear it with a smile, because I know it's a lot of men. They got millions and billions of dollars and they can't have access to their children the way I can. And I say it a lot because it really matters. If you didn't come from a strong family, make sure a strong family comes from you. When I'm at these gas stations and I see all these homeless people out, I see individuals. Because if they had a spouse, they had a close relationship with their mama and their daddy, their grandpa, their cousin, their auntie, their uncle, they not homeless. But when you got a bunch of people that are broken and they stray away from the family, then you got these little hodgepodge homeless communities popping up where they bonding off of trauma and taking drugs together and just pulling each other's down. And so you got to look out for your family. No matter how happy they seem, no matter how much they laugh and smile, you got to call them and see how they doing. I had a good friend, Steve, and every time I saw Steve, he had a smile and a joke to tell you. He took his own life. Never would have guessed it in a million years. So, especially in today's society, right, where it's more political than ever, it's more divided than ever, and I say it's all cap, it ain't real. But these algorithms are doing their best to make you think the world is super negative. Like you can't go outside, you can't go to Worlds of Fun, you can't go to the grocery store without somebody of a different race trying to attack you. It's all propaganda. And I hope you can see through the smoke screen. Use your real life experiences when you go to work, when you walk in the store, when you at school. You know you talk to people of a different race every day. You know y'all laugh together. So rise above the low vibrational information that's given to you and be the change you wish to see in this world. Because kids, they not caught up on the race stuff. I promise they not. And to be around children, like to chaperone these field trips and to go volunteer, man, it ain't no money in that, but the memories that you create and what the impact that you have on these children's lives is planting crazy seeds. It's gonna have a huge dividends. All the little kids in my son's school is walking up to me, Mr. Calloway, are you gonna coach the basketball team this year? Like, kids like to see an in-shape man. Kids like to see somebody that's taking care of themselves. I've said it a lot. Every child wants their own Superman or Spider-Man. I wouldn't have gravitated to Kobe Bryant so much if my daddy could hoop. If my daddy did anything outside of sat on the couch with a beer in his hand. And so if you did not come from a strong family, make sure a strong family comes from you. Set a great example for your son. Be somebody that you want your daughter to grow up and be attracted to. It's a lot of BS going on in Washington, but we can raise the next generation to be free thinkers, to move at a different vibration, to not just make content, criticizing other people or talking about what changes need to be done, but really getting their hands dirty and get out here in these streets and these trenches. Because that's how you're going to really move some needles. As much as I'm able to reach people via YouTube, reaching these kids around my neighborhood is lit. I love it. Because it's the kids that I get to reach in the neighborhood, they never will watch me on YouTube. They don't even know about YouTube videos like this. And if they do, they watching some urban content that they don't need to be seeing anyway. I'm changing their perspective. And I hope you do your part to change people's perspective. I keep saying every one of us is a creator. So start you a YouTube channel. Start you a blog. Start you a podcast. Create your website. Start baking them cookies that you like. You know what I'm saying? Whip it up. Every single one of us. Get your camera out and start taking pictures. Get your sketch pad out and start just drawing again. Grab the guitar, get on the piano. Because that's the thing about life, is you never really can experience it unless you step out and try it. I can tell you playing the piano is extremely difficult, but unless you actually try, you'll never know. And every single one of us has something to contribute to this world. And we talk about the shadow bans and the censorship, but they can't censor every single human. American, Canadian, Australian, Puerto Rican. It's people all around this thing that have dope stories to tell this world. And my grandma always said, if you don't speak up, how anybody know you exist? But a lot of us come from families where it ain't cool to speak up. It's sit down and shut up and keep your mouth closed. And I'm just inspiring you to say it with your chest. The same way I didn't help my JJ grow in spirit and say it with his chest and be confident and stand up on the stage. He probably came to me and gave me 25 hugs yesterday. Daddy, I love you. Daddy, thank you for coming on my field trip. You can have a great relationship with your kids. It's possible. So many people always say, well, just let them keep getting older or wait till they become teenagers. And the older my kids get, the closer we get. The more in-depth our conversations are, the more truthful and realistic I can be with them because they understand real-world concepts now. Malcolm X said we got to teach our kids early what we learn late. And you don't have to sugarcoat everything with children. You don't have to be overly blunt either, like what the media and them is doing with Sexy Red and all that. But you don't have to baby them forever. And as my boys get older, I get to have real-life conversation with them about the dangers of lusting over women, of peer pressure or having a bunch of men around you. My daddy always said, boy, don't be riding with a bunch of niggas in your car. And as a kid, it made sense because it was always just me and my gym bag after my pops really put me on game. But my son's gonna go through that too. Let one of them get a car. They're gonna be one, we just going to go hoop. You don't need to make yourself a target. The faker you are, the bigger your circle will be. And when you can just be hanging with any and everybody, man, energy is real. You in this environment and it's 200 people and they playing this murder, kill music, and then you done got hit by a stray bullet and ain't got nothing to do with it. And the same for the young ladies. You got to be careful on what type of men you attracted to. But it all starts with the family. It all starts with having a daddy that's a good example for his daughter, and a father that's a good example for his son, a wife that's respecting her husband and showing her children how we respect this man that goes out and works for us. And maybe that's just my family dynamic, but we probably say I love you inside my house 500 times a day. Everything is please, everything is thank you. Like it's just respect. I don't get inside your home why you would want negative energy. And I personally think every man should control the energy inside his home. I don't care how crazy or chaotic it is during the day when you out at work and the kids is running around and jumping off the couch. When daddy walk in the house, the mood change. I know it's like that in my house. And I'm not 6'8", 250, you know what I'm saying? But in spirit, when I walk in, it's recognized. And I think that's something my father failed to realize, is how much his energy did control our home. And there's probably a lot of men out there that don't understand. If you're in a bad mood, 9 times out of 10, your girl end up in a bad mood. And then she taking her anger out on the kids. And then we got a domino effect of people upset. But as a man, you also know that when your girl tripping, you got to be able to stay there like, it ain't even that big a deal. You can't let her energy pull you down. You got to be the strongest magnet. They make all this talk about, being a man is about how much money you make. How well do you control your emotions? How well can you lead your family? Because that's really all it's about at the end of the day. No matter how popular you are on social media with, 6.5 million followers, no matter how much money you got in the bank account, how does your family feel about you? The people that really got to live in your home, they got to deal with you on a daily basis. Because I know a man that's a multi-millionaire, got 36, 37 cars, and his wife hates him. Both of his daughters want nothing to do with him. He doesn't have any friends outside of, business acquaintances. So how they be saying, do it for the gram and do it for the internet? No, do it for your family. Your last name matters. Don't live for your first name. Live for your last name. For your mama that brought you into this world. For your daddy that brought you into this world. Set a great example. Like I said, your art will outlive you. Do you really want the image of you 100 years from now is she would get on the internet and twerk? You know what I'm saying? He would get on the internet and flash guns and do the money phone. Like, come on, man, we got to think bigger. You could be the next Malcolm X, the next Martin Luther King, the next Marcus Garvey, the next Carter G. Woodson, the next Napoleon Hill, the next Earl Nightingale, the next Ralph Waldo Emerson. Anything the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So think super, mega, awesome, big on this Friday morning. I love you all. Anything is possible with faith, consistency, and hard work. Never, ever, ever, ever be too proud to pray. And smile, be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy. Because blessings are always on the way. We got a trip to Nebraska this weekend for my daughter's soccer tournament. So I'm going to try to hop on with you guys and communicate over the weekend so you can see my road trip as a father. But I love you all, man. And be a blessing to the people around you, because this thing called life is valuable. And there is no going back to yesterday. So make your mark today. Start your journey today. Make somebody happy today. Make somebody smile today. But make yourself smile. Make yourself happy as well. You can't pour from an empty cup. So get right with yourself so you can get right with the world. We outie, baby. Peace.